All right, guys, so welcome back into another PGA DFS video. We're going to be going over the first round leader bets, the round one showdown picks, as well as the ownership leverage here for the FedEx St. Jude. Should be pretty forward or straight and simple here. So, we'll just get right into it. So just starting off with that first round leader betting and showdown picks. Once again, I always echo this. Highly correlates. Round one showdown picks highly correlate, obviously, with the golfers that are most likely to have the first round lead. So I'm going to keep just echoing this. Play and bet on the golfers that are most likely to have the first round lead, because the majority of the time they're going to finish with the first round lead, especially when you're looking at those golfers that have the AMT times. Okay, now that might be a little bit different this week. Just a reduced field. Tee times aren't as drastic and whatnot. But last week, Sanjay M finished second in first round leader betting. He was the second most likely to have the first round lead. Okay. Aaron Wise, I think he was like fifth most likely to have the first round lead. He ended up finishing top 5. So it's a majority of the time a golfer that ranks in the top 5% that have the AMT time only are going to finish with the first round lead. And then when they don't, a lot of the time, and I would say the majority of the time, they're going to finish with the first round lead. And a majority of the time when they don't, they're going to at least finish T5. At least someone is going to finish T5. So at the very least, you should be able to win back some of what you put in. Just randomly, I don't know. I was going to say like recoup, which made me think of the live stuff, and the live news yesterday was kind of funny. It's weird. Like everything that comes out lately is just like keeps getting worse and worse for live, keeps making them look worse. And I don't mean to get off on this, but it's kind of funny how everything the live players say, everything that comes out of their mouth completely contradicts their actions. And it is just kind of getting annoying to this point. It's like, just say what you mean. I like, that's the annoying part to me. It's like they try to think that the golf fans are stupid and stuff. It's like, dude, you took the money, like whatever. And you want to get back on the PGA Tour to make more money. Like, just say what it is. Like, stop with this fluff. It's just getting annoying. It just really is. But sorry for that tangent. Let's just look at who is most likely to have the first round lead with the AMT times. So we can see that the 1 and 2 are not on this list, but we do get Scotty Scheffler, Cam Smith, who, he said, once I've made my decision, you guys can ask me and I'll let you know. And then the follow-up question was, all right, well, have you signed? And then he said, no comment. Like, it's just getting annoying. Like, stop saying shit you don't mean. It's just like, it's annoying. All right. Anyways, Cameron Young, he's had the first round lead multiple times or been close to the first round lead multiple times. Same thing with winning. Like, I really think, he makes a lot of sense as a first round leader target. Sam Burns. A lot of people are on Sam Burns. He's looking like he could be one of the more chalky players this week. I don't really get that. It's a little bit risk reward based there. But if you want to get your exposure to Sam Burns, this would be the way to do it, whether that be on showdown or first round leader. That's what makes the most sense. Look at JT, no shot there. JT, it's either really strong first round lead or first round overall, or it's the opposite where he's going to have a really strong second round. Okay, it's just kind of that's how it goes. So if he sucks in round 1, play him in round 2 showdown. Russell Henley popping up there once again, guys, and then Aaron Wise also popping up there again. Now, if we're talking, so like I really don't mind betting Aaron Wise, Henley, JT, Sam Burns, Cameron, both the Camerons and Scotty Scheffler. Now, I particularly don't love Sam Burns and honestly just like F Cam Smith at this point. So for me, like if you want to bet first round leader, I would go, I don't even know about Scotty, honestly. I'd probably go Cameron Young, Aaron Wise, Russell Henley. And I know last video I said, no, I'm just going to bet the top 5%. Most likely they have the first round lead. So that'd be about 7 players this week. So maybe just do the top 7. It's tough. But talking about other players that could do it. Tony Finau, he's been playing well. Max Homa, pretty strong recent form minus the Open Championship. Chris Kirk, a name that's really popping up this week. He is a golfer that does excel in the first round. So we'll know the week that he's going to have based off of really round 1. So honestly, guys, like Chris Kirk, Russell Henley, Aaron Wise in a round 1 showdown build makes a lot of sense. You could tack on Cameron Young, maybe Scotty Scheffler as well, and you're sitting pretty. You have a pretty good build, and also it's a unique build as well because the ownership's weird for showdowns. I still don't really get it. Even when I tell people like this is the best play, sometimes it's only like 20%, which, you know, whatever. I guess 20% is not bad, but you guys get the point. Ownership's not a huge deal for showdown because it's pretty spread out. Taylor Moore is someone that could continue to play well. He's been playing really well. I'm just looking at the other guys here. Like no one's really popping up too much. Obviously, this is a full season of data that we're looking at. You know, you're trying to find some values here. I'm not really seeing anything. Maybe Tarn, our boy Tarn, you could go to for value. I mentioned I don't mind JT Poston this week. If you wanted to play him, you could. You know, that's really kind of it, guys. Obviously, for max entering GPPs, for the lineup optimizer from 905 Sports, what I would do is I'm just going to click in those golfers that have that first round lead likelihood, and then kind of just go from there. Okay. So let's just look at overall, just real quick, because, you know, maybe Rory could have the first round lead. He's the most likely to have the first round lead overall. And then so is Patrick Cantlay. So if you wanted to open it up to these other players like Rory, Patrick Cantlay, Xander, you could. You guys know that's not kind of what I want to do. Davis Riley is someone that's popping up there as well. You could do that if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that. Now we're going to get into the, fades and ownership leverage. So the thing that's interesting to me is that I mentioned this a few times throughout the year. For the most part, the golfers that are most likely to play well are all the high-end pay-up plays, which makes sense. With that, it doesn't make sense for any one of them to be chalky. So we are seeing that the ownership's kind of all spread out. So when the ownership's all spread out amongst them, they all kind of give you some leverage, especially when they're projected to really be strong plays like this. So Xander, Cantlay, Rory, Fitzpatrick, even Rahm, Scotty, like these are all golfers that are high-priced players that we know we can expect good results from, okay? And so they're still kind of being undervalued. Now, sure, Rory is being valued as a golfer that's probably going to finish top 5 by the public at 18% ownership. You know, that's probably right. Patrick Cantlay is someone that's going to finish top 10 at 14. Xander is a little bit under-owned compared to his price point and how he ranks out. The public thinks he's only going to finish top 15, which, you know, besides his wins, that's pretty much what he's been doing. So I'm not going to say that's wrong, but like we're getting a lot of safety with these top-end guys. If we go lower, like this is where I think it really gets kind of sweet, and this is kind of where I like using this tool. Look at someone like Shane Lowry, who I think just had a mental vacation last week, okay? 10% owned, strong play, you know, that's no shock there. Good enough course history, great recent form, good stat fit. He's been a stud this year. That's not a shock there, okay? The price point was kind of a shock, honestly, and that's where, you know, kind of less down last week. Could be a blessing in disguise because of the price point now. But 10% projected ownership. So the public is valuing him as a top 30 finisher. So let's just say last week was a mental vacation. He's going to finish better than top 30 if that is true. You know, top 20, top 15, like that wouldn't be shocking. Look at someone like Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth, I would say his floor this week would probably be like 35th place finish. But I think Jordan Spieth is a very safe play. Okay, so if you want to roll with Jordan Spieth this week at 10% projected ownership, it does make sense. He's a golfer that I've been naturally landing on to close out my builds. I like other players more than him because of the upside. I don't really see Jordan kind of getting his random victory like he did at the RBC Heritage, where it was kind of gift wrapped and handed to him from players choking and then him making a couple of clutch shots there. I don't really see that happening this week. Could it happen? Is it in the realm of possibilities? Sure. But I think he's a super safe play. Okay, so like a top 20 finish, top 15 place finish. I think that is definitely gonna I don't want to say definitely gonna happen, but it most likely will happen. Honestly, guys, most of these guys right here, I feel good betting top 20. JT's a little bit under-owned, you know, whatever there. Chris Kirk's a very interesting name, a guy that really is popping up data-wise, stat-fit-wise, recent form-wise. The public not really liking him this much, so 6% projected ownership. So that should be a huge edge. Now, obviously, data doesn't always hit, okay? But man, that is very intriguing there. I mean, how can it not be intriguing? Top 10 in ownership leverage rank. Public is valuing him at a top 40 finisher. Like, whew, that's a good price point. That's a great leverage right there. I really like that. And then we'll just flip it around here, go to the opposite side of this. Maybe on a Grillo, 7K, 6% projected ownership, and that's where it's like strange. You compare someone like Chris Kirk, $400 more. Weird there. Aaron Wise might have a little bit more upside than Chris Kirk, but double the projected ownership. That's kind of strange. Tom Kim's about a week away from having the full data on PGA Tour. Once that gets in, I do think the 9 to 5 mile is going to like him a little bit more than it currently does, because really what we're pulling in right now is recent form data. Okay. And part of my data is having a full data set going into it, so it doesn't skew like random one-off finishes like Tom Kim's like first 5 starts on the PGA Tour. You know, that's part of the equation. So it's no shock that he's ranking out poorly, and that's kind of why he is over-owned, and that's why it's telling us he's over-owned. I mean, 14% projected ownership still, I mean, that's kind of a lot compared to the players around him. Sanjay M definitely getting up there for a guy that's been very hit or miss. You know, one of the highest projected owned players on the slate. That's pretty shocking to me. I know he played well last week. It makes sense. Great stat fit. He should be someone that plays well at this course. Hasn't done it just yet. 2 bad finishes at this course. Russell Henley, kind of same things. Russell Henley is great stat fit. You know, been playing strong recent form. 14% projected ownership. Maybe that's a little bit too much. Neiman, you know, not really a great play this week. I mean, these golfers have all played well, okay, this season. I don't want to undercut them there. They have all played well this season. And part of what goes into the FedEx Cup playoffs is there's a bunch of golfers that are kind of just happy to have made the playoffs. And then there are some other golfers that are happy to have finally gotten to the FedEx Cup playoffs, which was kind of my concern with Shane Lowry playing last week. So I'm echoing that a little bit more. It's like there's going to be some players on both ends of the spectrum where, sure, if they play well this week, that's great, but they're going to be content with just making the playoffs. And there's going to be golfers on the flip side where they probably have been just, all right, the majors are over. Let's get to the FedEx Cup playoffs. Let's button up this 2022 PGA season and finish it off strong. But we kind of got to figure that out. So like if someone like Neiman goes out and plays better, that wouldn't be shocking. But at the same time, not that likely. Scott Stallings has been someone that is hit or miss. I personally love him this week, especially at that price point. I'm going to be playing a lot of him. The data loves him as well. 10% projected ownership, not too much. But given his price point, given his made cut percentage of 58%, that's why he's ranking out as someone that's a little bit risky at 10% projected ownership. Sure, he ranks out well in the model. He's been a little bit too hit or miss. And at this price point, at 10% projected ownership compared to the other players around him, a little bit risky there. Because you could go, I mean, JT Poston, I don't mind. Tony Finau, I don't mind. Tony Finau, that's a lot. 21% projected ownership for Tony Finau. Really? Let me look at the salaries here, because that's a strange one to me. I know he's in great recent form, but like Matt Fitzpatrick right there, what is going on? This will be interesting to see if this holds up when the evening ownership updates come in. Yeah, you got Cameron Young right there. Been playing solid golf. 2 straight runner-ups. That is very interesting to me. Jordan's under-owned. Like, I get it. 2 straight victories in a row, but like Matt Fitzpatrick, been a stud. Xander Schauffele, been a stud. Great form with those guys, and obviously they've won some tournaments recently. Just interesting there. And Sam Burns, it's weird. Like, personally to me, I put this on the write-up. Studs and duds is the approach. And we're seeing a lot of ownership go to kind of a risky price point range with Victor Hovland there too a little bit. Colin Morikawa there a little bit. Sam Burns, definitely. Sanjay M, definitely. Lowry should be a safe play. Billy Horschel should be more of a safe play. But just interesting there that some of the riskier plays in this price point range, because you know, they're good plays, but at the same time, like, these are safe plays and have more upside plays, whereas this is a little bit more risky, probably not as much upside, likelihood of upside, I should say. Like, you can pretty much get the same plays, safer plays at a cheaper price point. But, you know, that's all I have for you guys for this video. I know a lot of people were doing the cat challenge and trying to name my cat. It is a human name, and it's not really golf. It's not golf related. I saw some fun. Honestly, all the name requests in there were fun. I saw a tiger in there. That's a fun one. Garfield, a lot of Garfields. I really appreciated the goose one. I'm assuming that's from Marvel, and that if someone knew enough from Twitter, because I always tweet out a bunch of like Marvel like tweets and stuff, to have guessed goose because of that, that's like next level brain stuff there. I mean, the Garfield one, that's kind of typical, but I like it. There's a bunch of that, but it is a human name. Okay, I want to give out some other clues, and I think I might just do a random winner, because there's a lot of people voting. It's a lot of fun. So I think on next week's video, I'll just put a bunch of names into a hat and do a drawing there. Okay, because it's just fun. So if you haven't seen and you're still watching this video, my cat made a guest appearance on the Core Plays video, on the main video for the week. Trying to try to steal the show from me. But anyways, I was like, all right, if anyone can name my cat, they can get a free month membership at 9 to 5 Sports. So if no one does name him, get the name right, sorry. Yeah, I'll do a drawing next week on one of the videos, probably the Core Plays video. But guys, NFL DFS is here as well. You'll be seeing my preseason DFS coverage. That is a huge advantage. Yes, round 1 showdown, round 2 showdown, easy edges there. You can profit throughout the whole season. We're taking that edge and timesing it by 2 with NFL DFS preseason, okay? I'm excited for it. The Thursday slate is actually a great one. We had the Patriots, who run the ball a lot. There's a lot of predicted. They're probably the most predictable team in the preseason. Hopefully that holds true with Josh McDaniels gone. And then also the Baltimore Ravens have, like, you typically just go Baltimore Ravens running back, New England Patriots running back, and you're just like, all right, I'm cashing these checks right now. I'm feeling good. So we had those 2 teams on the slate, and then the Tennessee Titans, who actually had the running back who ran it the most in the preseason last year. They're playing as well. So hopefully it's a good one. I'd started to do my research on Monday and Tuesday. This will be the big deep dive one, so I'll be posting that preseason NFL DFS video for Thursday's games tonight. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, let's keep cashing.